When I was 3 years old, 3, I stood at the top of my stairs leading to my basement with a Superman costume on.
Did you ever spend any time on the field, Tom?
Yeah, I don't think you should never do that again.
Convinced I was gonna fly. And when I ended up in a crumpled heap at the bottom of those stairs, I learned something that day about choices and consequences. You want to see some fools that have not learned that lesson yet? Watch these chongos as they get tats for no other reason than, I don't know, groupthink, echo chambers, peer pressure, and the Mutual Appreciation Society. These guys are absolute fools. Enjoy the show.
Tattoo thing was amazing. I gotta say, I'm gonna be completely transparent about this at the moment. I didn't think it was gonna be a hit.
Matt brought up to me when I did the podcast there that they were going to be bringing in a real artist. To the Centrotherm event, Squid Games 2. I was intrigued. He knew I was interested in getting a tattoo. I have enough tattoos as it is, and I'm sure I could find a spot to put it.
Hitting up that tattoo would be my first tattoo, so we'll see how it goes.
I actually thought it was actually a pretty good idea. Not that I've seen too many like HVAC events going on, but when I learned that they would have, actually he's my tattoo artist as well, go down there, I actually thought it was really interesting. I thought it would be a big hit. I mean, because in the industry, most guys that I've come across have tattoos.
All these HVAC guys are covered in tattoos, and even the marketing guys as well have a little bit of ink themselves. So because we were doing it the second time, let's go bigger, let's go larger. I thought that a real tattoo artist doing actual HVAC tattoos would be a pretty big interest.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about Centrotherm 2024. The Squid Game 2.0 was probably the coolest thing that Centrotherm has ever put together besides the first one. This one was, it was just, they upped the ante so much, it's so hard to describe unless you were there. It was awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, all those HVAC people really know how to have a good time.
He's a monster!
And they sure do like stupid tattoos, and I am happy to make stupid tattoos with silly people.
I thought that we were gonna maybe struggle to fill a full day's work for our tattoo artist, Nick, who is a friend of mine, but I was completely wrong. There was a waiting list. He ran out of supplies. He did maybe 15 or 16 tattoos when my initial estimate would have been something like 7 or 8. So it was way bigger, way more successful than I thought, and a lot of people left there with a bunch of weird HVAC stuff. Maybe my favorite one being, aside from of course the elbow on the elbow, Alex the Ranger, the boiler spoiler, getting WD-40 tattooed on his shoulder is just unbelievable. Just a great tattoo.
At first I was like, nobody's gonna really stop and do the tattoos when I first heard about it. And then I was like, all right, so I'll just kind of stay off to the side, and like, if there's a spot available, I'll jump in. I've got tattoos already, so like I kind of figured, if there was just a lull and they needed someone to fill in time, I was like, I'll just kind of be that guy. Which I kind of regret, because I ended up not getting one, because it was booked the entire time. People were getting tattoos all day long, to the point where I overheard him saying at one point he was afraid he was going to run out of ink.
But I really just kind of wanted to touch on just one really unique thing, was the tattoos. Dude, I have never in my life been to any event where they allowed people to get tattooed, let alone, what did he tattoo, maybe 20 people? There was supposed to be probably like 5-10 people, but then was like, he was just sending person after person after person.
I would say giving HVAC Poppy his first tattoo while his mom looked on via FaceTime in shame was a pretty epic moment.
That moment with Louis the Boiler Man was probably my favorite moment of the entire weekend. Someone was live streaming and then his mother saw him getting his first tattoo. I think maybe my favorite photograph of the entire time has my face just lit up laughing alongside Roger Wakefield and a bunch of other people. I mean, I will never forget that. That was a moment that I think a lot of people will look back on and laugh heartily. And, wepa.
There were people sitting there all day, people waiting in line all day, people anxious to get in line for it. A guy got an elbow on his elbow. That was my favorite so far.
The elbow on an elbow was a pretty special moment. Very cerebral, buddy.
And I don't exactly remember the exact conversation, but we talked about getting matching tattoos or matching Centrotherm tattoos, because Matthew had brought up how much time we had spent here, and all that. So I was like, it would be really cool. One of us came up with the idea, like, hey, it would be cool to have just a Centrotherm matching tattoo. And I came up with elbow on the elbow, because it would just, it's funny, right? How many other parts do we have that actually would make sense to a body part?
I'm not going to battle my esteemed and wonderful friend on the idea of the elbow on the elbow. So I'll say it's a group effort here. Kara and I both have a ton of tattoos. We both go to the same guy, and we are planning on getting matching tattoo. And that was just a joke. Team building here within Centrotherm was to get that tattoo, the elbow on the elbow, together.
So we're here with Nicholas, and we are here with Brian, and we are about to fulfill one of Matthew's personal Centrotherm fantasies as we tattoo the elbow on the elbow. We're getting real meta here in Miami.
We came up with this idea as part of just joking around about team building tattoos. There were several ideas that we kicked around, including the logo, which, thank you to Kyle Peterson for getting the Centrotherm logo on his calf. I do think vodka might have played a little bit of a role in that, so either way, he's now got the Centrotherm logo on his calf.
So after seeing, countless footage and some of the pictures from Nick doing all those wonderful tattoos, actually one came across that was absolutely amazing. The placement, I don't know if I would dare to ever do that, but the guy seemed cool enough. It was the plunger on the back of the head.
I said, screw it, I'm going with the plunger, because it was a little different. Even though I don't even carry a plunger on my truck. But, everybody knows a plumber from the signal of a plunger. And now I got a tattoo that's very visible, that's going to create stories. And it's forever going to be instilled as the tattoo that I got at the Squid Games 2 in Miami. And Centrotherm will always be a part of that. So take a look. I think it's a dope spot.
So, as you might know, we went to Miami with Centrotherm, and part of their Squid Games was that we could get a free tattoo of whatever we want. But I had a particular stencil made for me so that for my first tattoo, I could get the company name. And this is how it turned out. Was it painful? No. Was it worth it? Yeah. And we're done.
This was the coolest thing I could have ever been a part of, man. I just want to say how grateful, how thankful I am. Thank you, Centrotherm. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody that put all of their time and effort into this. It was just truly amazing. I don't know how else to describe it, but wrench gang, baby.
Get a nice tight wrench tattoo.
Yeah, so let's look at how that's healing up. How's it feeling now?
Feels amazing.
I'm actually jealous because I didn't get time, because I thought that there was just going to be time left over, and I'm actually kind of sad I didn't get one to mark, the trip to Miami with everybody. They're never going to forget Centrotherm.
Nope, they're on there. Especially Kyle, who's got the Centrotherm logo.
That's it.
So until
we're there forever.
Until we rebrand.
Oh, God, you better not rebrand. Oh, God.
Just want to thank Nick for believing in this. We looked for Miami tattoo artists, and I don't know any of them. I can't say that I trust them because I don't have a pre-existing relationship with them, but Nick is my tattoo artist from here in upstate New York. And when we conceived of the idea of bringing a tattoo artist down, there was really just one choice. We had to fly the guy who I know does an incredible job, is completely professional, is a great artist, and is the right personality to put a bunch of dumb tattoos on a bunch of insane plumbers.
Sitting here thinking about how amazing of a week, what a week that Centrotherm put on. And the amazing people that I met. It's amazing to see a company from that far away do as much as they do for us. Hats off to Centrotherm. You guys put on a great show. You're great people. Products are amazing. I appreciate every one of you guys and every one of you I met. You're all the world to me. You people put me where I am, and I learned from all of you, so I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Would you participate in a Centrotherm Season 3 should that exist?
Oh my goodness. How could I say no? Of course I would.